Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. We have lots of hungry hippos to feed and that helps us out so much. And also don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Today we're going to be talking about the reality of reselling. This is kind of a video that's going to touch upon the actual realism of reselling for a full-time living, the reality of it behind the scenes, but it's also going to serve as a reminder of what this channel is and who I am. When I started this channel, I started it with the idea of creating a teaching channel and showing all of those realistic, gritty, grimy details of reselling that a lot of other resellers won't show you. Despite popular opinion, reselling is not glamorous. It's not exciting all the time. It can be. If you like that thrill of the hunt and you go out sourcing and you find a once-in-a-lifetime find or something real exciting, that's fun. But the majority of the time, it's not fun. It's not thrilling. It's not exciting. It's not glamorous. A lot of what we do is tedious and very boring. Taking pictures over and over, taking measurements over and over, typing and listing and talking to customers and dealing with shipping and shipping labels and pulling the items and doing the same thing again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. A lot of what we do is routine and it's the same thing over and over, and it's not very exciting. It's not glamorous. But what is great about what we do is the freedom. So all of these tedious, boring tasks that you have to do over and over every day, you can do from the security and privacy of your own home in your pajamas, barefoot if you want. Your commute is like literally across the hall or down the stairs, unless you have a warehouse or a storage unit that you go to. But you can like roll out of bed and just start working if you want. You have the freedom to arrange your schedule around whatever your life needs are. If you have kids, if you're a parent that's involved in the school, if you have another job, if you have parents that are sick, if you have health issues, if you're disabled, and this is the perfect job for people that want that freedom to create their own schedule and have their work scheduled around their life rather than their life scheduled around their work. Because let's face it, most of us, when we worked outside of the home, we were on somebody else's time. We were told where to be, when to be, and how to be, and you had to work your life around that job. Now we can work our job around our life. I don't know why I said my, but you can work for a little bit, go to a doctor's appointment, come home. You can take a day off. You can do work on a Saturday if you went on vacation. That's the beauty of this job. That is the best part of this job, if you ask me, is that freedom. You can make as little or as much money as you want. You can work as much as you want, or you can fill a fart around, although I don't recommend fill farting around because then you don't make enough money to pay your bills. But the freedom is great, but it is a lot of tedious, boring tasks. And we have to do our own accounting and our books, and it's not very exciting. And the other reality of reselling is you're not going to go to the thrift store today and buy some items and put them on eBay and have them sell overnight. Most of the time, your items are going to sit for a while before they sell. You're also not going to resell for a whole week and buy a mansion and a Lamborghini. It takes time. When you're first starting out, it takes a lot of time and manpower to build your business to where you want it to be. Back to that beautiful freedom part. Once you get it to where you want it to be, you can go into maintain mode. So the beginning, building it up, and every time you want to step up and grow your business a little bit more, whenever you're in that growth mode, it does take extra manpower. It does take a lot of time and effort and work ethic and making yourself do the things that need to be done without having a boss telling you. When Keith and I were first building this business, we worked 6 and sometimes 7 days a week. The 7th day would be sourcing, so that would be like a 6-hour day. But the other 6 days were 12-hour days, and sometimes longer because Keith worked a full-time job still until we saved up enough money for him to quit and join me full-time. Back then, it was just grind. But when we had enough of a savings account that he could quit his job, when we had all of our debt paid off, thank you, Dave Ramsey, when we were ready to make that move and have him join me full time, and we had the business built to where we wanted it and needed it to be for our needs, we took a step back and we went into maintain mode. And now we could work 6 to 8 hour days, take the weekends off, take vacations here and there, play hooky once in a while, and just maintain wherever we were at that we built it to. And every once in a while, we'll go into another growth mode, usually right before Q4. This year, we doubled our listings. They're actually more than doubled now. We wanted to get to 4,000 active. We're almost at 5. And so we went into growth mode again. So when you're in that growth mode or when you're first building your business, yes, there's a lot of push, there's a lot of hours, there's a lot of work. But when you get it to where you need it to be or want it to be, then you back off and you're just maintaining. You're just listing what you're selling, or maybe just a tiny bit more. If you're selling 10 a day, maybe list 11 or 12, so you can still get a little bit of growth each day. If you get to a point where you can hire employees and that's what you want to do for yourself, great, you can back off even more. That's a personal choice. Like for Keith and I, we've always said when this business gets so big that we cannot handle it with just the two of us, we're going to back off because we don't want employees and we don't want off-site facilities. If it's so big that we can't store the stuff in our own basement or we need extra people or extra hands to help us, we're too big. We're going to back down. But that's some people's goal. Some people want employees and warehouses. That's great if that's for you. And remember, everybody's needs are different. I talk about this all the time, and this is so important, and this is such a big part of the reality. There's so many resellers out there on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and you see what they're doing, and maybe you aspire to be like them or aspire to be that successful, or you want to emulate their business policies, their business practices, or business model, and that's great. But don't hold yourself so accountable to somebody else's success that you bring yourself to a halt or do yourself a disservice. Because you may see someone on one of those social media platforms being super successful, and maybe you don't know that they don't have children and they don't have a mortgage, and you have 5 kids and a mortgage. Or maybe you see someone who's being super successful and has a nice big home and a nice car, and you're aspiring and you're trying to be that, but deep down inside, you know that's not you. You know you're a minimalistic person who wants to live in a cabin in the woods and doesn't want all those fancy things. So don't push yourself to be somebody you're not. Don't try hard to be somebody who isn't you. You need to be true to yourself, and that goes with what you're going to sell as well. You need to sell things that bring you joy. Don't push yourself to sell shoes because you see so many other resellers being successful with shoes. If they, well, for me, they wig me out, they're gross. But if they're just not, they don't make you happy. Find a niche or category or 2 or 3 of them that you like. I have 3 main categories now that I just really love and I look forward to working with: jeans, plush, and jewelry. Keith does his electronics and his comics, and he's content. He doesn't want to touch my jewelry. I don't want to touch his electronics. And we're both happy. So you always have to be true to yourself. Find the items that work for you. It's great to watch other resellers on social media and learn from them. You can always learn tips and tricks from other resellers. You should always be involved in the community. You should always be learning. But don't find someone that you want to emulate so badly that you're hindering your own success. Everyone's bills are different, and everyone's needs and wants and desires and what they want out of life is different. So you need to figure out for yourself. If you need to get a pen and piece of paper, do it and write down, these are my bills, these are my wants that I want every month, and these are my necessities. And so this is how much money I need to make every month. And you can go from there to figure out how big you need to build your business or how much you need to be selling or listing. But don't try to be someone you're not. That is one of the huge mistakes I think a lot of resellers make. And I really want to address that in this video. Because again, this is to talk about the reality, the realism, the behind the scenes nitty gritty of actually being a true reseller and selling for a full-time living or a part-time living and making it work in a way that is sustainable. It is so fun and so exciting when another reseller finds an amazing find and they show you on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or even in a Facebook group. But the reality is Those once in a lifetime finds, they're exactly that. They're once in a lifetime finds. So if someone's showing you a teapot that sells for $5,000, a vintage dress that sells for $6,000, the very rare Five Nights at Freddy's giant rabbit that sells for $300. I had one of those. What are the chances that you're going to go out next weekend and find that same exact item? And it's not realistic. Do you know what you can find? You can find all the things I talk about on this channel. All of those rare, once in a lifetime, very exciting, thrilling treasure finds are fantastic and exciting. And you can celebrate with your friends when they find them. You can cheer on other resellers, and you can keep your eyes out for them when you're out. But the chances of you finding it are very small. But you know what you can get? Everyone can go and get a ThredUp box. Everyone can go to American Thrift and get a pallet of Plush. Everyone can go on Etsy to the Whistle Pig Marketplace and buy one of her bulk boxes of jewelry using my code HIPPO, and she'll give you 20% off. Everybody can go on Goodwill Blue Box and get a box of jewelry or a box of comics. They have comics over at American Thrift as well. All of the things that I talk about and show you on this channel are attainable and accessible and sustainable for every reseller. We all have those things at our fingertips accessible to us. Those are just a few examples. If you go online to all the auction places and all the places where you can buy inventory, the sky is the limit. Everyone can do it. You know what else you can do? I've done this before. Get active in the community and let people in the community know you sell jewelry, you sell plush, you sell jeans, and you are always willing to buy people out or buy bulk from other resellers. For whatever reasons, oftentimes resellers will change niches, or they'll decide this isn't for me anymore, and so they're pivoting. They need to get rid of all their jewelry because now they're selling jeans, or vice versa. If you're active in the community and you've made friends and you're part of Facebook groups, they know you and they'll come to you. In fact, one of my last jewelry buys, really good jewelry buy, was from my friend Jay. Hi, Jay. And I also got my Build-A-Bear lot from her. She does like storage buyouts. And when she gets a storage unit that has stuff in it that she doesn't want to deal with, that's stuff that I sell, she'll reach out to me. She gives me a great deal. She makes money. I make money. Everybody's happy. But that's attainable for everybody. We can all be active in the community and work with each other and sell to and from each other. We can all go to those websites I mentioned. There's auctions online. Everybody has that at their fingertips. It's not just something that I can get, okay? So anything I show you on this channel or share with you is something that you can also do. Will I show you the once in a lifetime finds? Yes. Like that Five Nights at Freddy's rabbit. He was so cool. In fact, I'm probably going to use him for my thumbnail. But that was a once in a lifetime thing. You guys are not going to go to Goodwill next week and find that Five Nights at Freddy's plush that's going to sell for $300, right? So I try to show you like the palettes that you can get at American Thrift. A lot of what I sell is bread and butter and filler because it's realistic. I can sustainably build a full-time business that supports Keith and I. This is his full-time job as well. And maintain that over the years and continually have enough inventory to continue listing and growing and having this business. Do I go out to the thrift stores once in a while and yard sales and look for those once in a lifetime treasure finds? Yes, I do. Everyone does. It's fun and it's so exciting when you find them, and the money you get from them is great. But you can also hit on those in the bulk buys too. That doesn't mean everyone will. But I try to show you guys on this channel ways that you can have a full-time or part-time, whatever your needs are. But you can have a business that will sustain you and your needs and make the money that you need for your lifestyle, whatever that is. Everyone's needs and bills are different. My bills aren't your bills. So you may need less money or more money than me. But I show you ways that you can build that business. A volume-based business is very attainable and sustainable for everybody. And you can even start getting in on Whatnot and the Posh live shows and really do well if you buy bulk. I really haven't delved into that, but I have friends who have, and they're very successful. They do like live unboxings with $5 starts. or they'll do jewelry unboxings, and you can start it at what you want. There's all kinds of ways to make it work. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind, that while seeing the highlight reels and the exciting finds of a lot of other resellers is thrilling, don't make that your like goal, or don't make that your end all be all. You may one day find one of those items, but don't overlook the items that are actually going to sell and pay your bills in search of that once in a lifetime find. So like, don't climb over all the piles of stuff that could actually be in your store selling and paying your bill and putting food in your fridge, because your eye's on that teapot that you're never going to find. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to come on and just remind you guys of that. I like to do a video once in a while. I get new subscribers, new followers all the time. And I think some of us can just need the reminder once in a while that, you know, reselling is not glamorous. We're not all going to start reselling and be rich tomorrow. Hey, some of us don't even want to be rich. I'm going to tell you this right now. I have some friends that are resellers who actually downsized. They were making 6 figures a year, had a warehouse, and they decided it just wasn't for them. And so they downsized and make just enough to live the lifestyle they want to live. They paid off all their debt. They don't have a mortgage, and they're working half days every day and enjoying their retirement. I have friends who continue to grow and grow and grow and get employees and have warehouses. It's whatever you want and you need, but it's not like an overnight get rich quick scheme. And you're not always going to find those once in a lifetime finds. You are going to have to put the work in. You are going to have to put the grind in at the beginning, or anytime you need to do a push and a growth. Whenever you're in growth mode, your nose is to the grind and you are working hard. Whenever you're in maintain mode, you can kind of take a backseat and chill a little bit. And I talk all the time about, you know, staying in your own lane. It's good to learn from other resellers. It's good to connect with other resellers. This can be a very lonely, isolating job. So you definitely want to be a part of the community, and you want to learn from each other. I mean, even people who've been selling for 20 years can learn something new every day. Plus things change. Like a lot of folks are now using AI through eBay or List Perfectly for their listings. Technology changes, things changes. Y'all remember when eBay was mail a money order for your item and then you waited for it in the mail? I mean, times do change, things change. We all have to consistently be learning, and it's good to be a part of the community. But don't get lost in the sea of other resellers and wanting what they have. Focus on yourself and what you need, and build yourself a business that's for you. And if you find a source for an item that you can get consistently all the time, and it will sustain your business and you can pay your bills with it, and you like it, make sure it's something you enjoy listing. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. I don't care if you're listing cut off legs of jeans. If you can get them consistently and you're listing them and you're selling them all the time and you're paying your bills, hey, you know what? You do you. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. And speaking of community, join my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Love to see you over there. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best. Hey, go be productive and go make some money. Bye.